Hey, what's up guys, my name is Charlie. Today we're going to be doing some more requested reaction videos, and this video was requested by Sevenless, and it's going to be the best-selling games of all time by Scott the Woz. Of course, it's Scott the Woz. A lot of people do request a lot of Scott the Woz, don't they? Nothing wrong with that, I do enjoy some Scott the Woz, but yeah, let's see what he has to say. I believe we did the best games of all time, I think he did a video on. We did a requested reaction video on that. So this one's a little bit different. It's the best selling games of all time. But I'm pretty sure we did a reaction video to the best games of all time or something like that. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, let's check out the video, shall we? Let's go.
Hey all, Scott here. I went to a psychic and found out I'm gonna die someday, so I decided to do something charitable with the time
Quite
I have
dramatic.
left doing this whole life thing. I've started an organization with the goal of taking care of the 28 million copies of We Play everybody abandoned. It is a bitch getting funding for this. As the video game industry grows, so do sales expectations. Sometimes they're reasonable, sometimes they're Capcom expecting Resident Evil 7 to sell
Capcom
4
Resident
million
Evil
copies
7.
at launch. What? And when it only reached 5 million sold a year after release, it's seen as a failure to many. I mean, it's fair to expect more copies of a game to be sold these days compared to 10 years ago. Video games are played by more people than ever now, and the internet helps spread the word of the hottest new game releases. But then there's completely unrealistic expectations of how well a game will do. Publishers predict large sales numbers that frankly are too high, and are then disappointed by sales that are still quite good. Tomb Raider in 2013 sold 3.4 million copies in 4 weeks. That's really good.
Fails
But not
to hit
really good enough.
expectations.
Well, it makes sense to expect higher sales
Lower
numbers
your
as video games become more and more
expectations, game
popular.
companies.
What makes publishers so confident in these ludicrous predictions?
Because
Probably
they're
We Play selling
smoking
28
their
million.
own
The list
games,
that all
who
games
knows?
strive to break into. The best-selling games of all time.
yes.
Let's take a look at the top 15 as of
GTA,
2018 and see if I can deduce why everybody refused to stop buying copies of these things. Now keep in mind, these are the best-selling games based on confirmed sales numbers and actual copies sold.
Of
No
course.
exclusively free-to-play games for us here, and games like Overwatch, while Blizzard has stated the game has over 40
Actually,
million
Overwatch
players,
is okay.
people can play the game for free
I
on
don't like
certain weekends.
Overwatch.
Plus, it's not a concrete Overwatch
Fortnite
has
I
sold
don't like,
this many
but Overwatch
copies.
is
If it was fully
respectable.
confirmed by Blizzard how many copies the game sold,
'Cause it
I'm
reminds
pretty
me of
sure it
Team
would be on the
Fortress
list.
2.
Also, no mobile-only games. I mean, Angry Birds alone sold over 500 million copies, even when it cost 99 cents. We're keeping things to console titles, and hey, if they have versions on mobile, good for them, but no exclusives. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, a game also known as Scott's favorite Grand Theft Auto, is my favorite Grand Theft Auto. I'm not gonna analyze what makes it so great to me because, honestly, it's probably just because it was the first one that I played. I never got far in the story at all. I would just conservatively play it until I said to myself,
Grand
alright,
Theft
it's time to
Auto
jaywalk.
Vice City
But
is
hey, I'm obviously
amazing.
not alone in my stance with San Andreas. It's an
San
incredibly
Andreas
popular
is
Grand Theft
also
Auto,
great.
and the second best-selling entry in the franchise, moving a whopping 27 million plus copies. Now, why did San Andreas do so well? Probably because
That's
it came
fucked
out
up.
at the
Just beat the
perfect
crap out of the
time.
guy.
Think about it. Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City came out earlier in the PS2 and Xbox life cycles. San Andreas was the last of the three to release in 2004. It was a ripe time to release as the developers really knew the hardware they were working with by this point. They
Yeah.
were able to fully utilize its power and supply us with the biggest Grand Theft Auto yet. Plus, 2004 was the peak of the consoles at the time, having a big enough active install base, but being far away enough from the launch of the next generation systems. Either that or was the sex minigame. I don't think people flocked to stores screaming, "Where's your San Andreas aisle?" because of the hot coffee mod or anything, but the abundance of media coverage on the topic definitely gave the game more of a spotlight. When the Wii launched, people were saying, "This is great and all, but I can't ride a cow yet." Wii Play is a title every Wii owner has swapped spit with
Play,
at some
fucking
point. It's a
hell.
bit of a companion title to Wii Sports. That game showcased the Wii Remote's capabilities in terms of motion control, while Wii Play focused a bit more on using the pointer functionality, whether it be through
Yeah.
slaughtering ducks or the stream I swear I
prefer
had
Wii
once.
Sports.
It wasn't crazy well received back then, and even now. I just never see anybody talking about this one. However, I will maintain that while Wii Play ain't high-class entertainment, it has enough fun in it to warrant playing from time to time, at least back when the Wii was relevant. But really though, why did it sell 28 million
Back when
plus
the Wii was
copies?
relevant.
Well, it
Whoa,
was
back
50
up
bucks.
there. The Wii is still relevant.
And it came with a Wii Remote bundled in.
The
which
Wii is
usually
still
costs
relevant.
40.
Come on,
It was
guys.
a no-brainer for Wii
It's a
owners
good
to pick this
console.
game up.
It's decent,
Might as well.
respectable.
You nab a second Wii Remote, and for only 10 extra bones, you get a game thrown in as well. It was never seen as a game plus a Wii Remote. It was always a Wii Remote plus a game. Nintendo did this with other games, but Wii Play was bundled with the Wii Remote right when the Wii craze was just starting to rev up. This is one of the few, if not the only title on the list that wasn't bundled with a console. I think barely anybody bought because they actually wanted the game. It was a classic case of, Why not? It's only $10 more. Duck Hunt's one of my favorite titles of any
Duck
NES
Hunt, of
game,
course.
arcade game, Japanese toy, Smash Brothers character, Smash Brothers stage, and amiibo. You use the NES Zapper to kill 1 duck at a time, 2 ducks at a time, or clay pigeons if you're feeling extra not murdery. If you fail to pop a duck, you get the first true instance of cyberbullying. But that didn't stop it from selling a whopping 28 million plus copies.
Damn.
However, I'm gonna have to slam an asterisk next to that number. Duck Hunt contracted the dreaded Pack-In syndrome, and believe me, this ain't the last time we'll see of it on this list. Many people love this game, yes, but it sold so well because it was packed in with the NES the majority of its life. Pack-In titles laugh in the face of what being on the
basically a
best-selling
console
games
seller,
list
so to
really
speak.
means, because you don't know how many people own
Well, not
the
really a
game because
console
they
seller,
actually
but
like
it
to
was
play it and
associated
because
with
it's
console to help
legitimately
the console
and how many people
thrive.
own it just because it came with the console. Also, Duck Hunt shared a cartridge with Super Mario Bros. Bundled in with NES
Oh,
systems
that's
for
awesome,
the
yeah.
longest time.
I
Which is
remember
undoubtedly
that.
the reason why both of these games remain so high up on the best-selling games list to this day.
Damn, yeah.
Oh,
That's
spoilers,
pretty
Mario's
cool.
on the list.
Super
This was a bit
Mario.
surprising to me. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim has already sold
Skyrim?
over 30 million plus copies, and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. To be fair, Bethesda made damn sure this game would be a
Skyrim,
bestseller.
yeah, that's
Skyrim
on
was
every
a
single
hit at launch,
fucking
and its name
console.
carries more value than I think the Elder Scrolls brand itself does at this point. I'm just saying, it seems like more people know of Skyrim than
Then
the
the Elder Scrolls, yeah,
After
the
many
third
lost
one, I
hundreds
believe.
of hours of their
can't-
life to Skyrim, the copious
fourth
amounts of
one, what was it?
mods, the internet spreading word of the game, and its
It was,
easy
the Elder
availability,
Scrolls,
I can easily see now why Skyrim is on this list, and honestly, it'll probably be higher on the list in no time.
Game of the Year
There is some
edition.
light pack-in syndrome here, though. It wasn't an Xbox 360 bundle at some point, and if you want to count Skyrim VR being bundled in with some PlayStation VR SKUs, go for it. Black Friday 2009. Everybody lined up at Target counter, slamming their hand down and yelling, "One bland and unoriginal Mario to go, please." Alright, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is still pretty good in the grand scheme of things, especially considering it was only the second New Super Mario Bros. Game at this point. The
Okay.
series definitely hadn't reached pure fatigue yet. And with it being the first original 2D Mario title with 4-player multiplayer on the Wii, it had no problem pushing 30 million. It
Nice.
did insanely well.
Wow.
I mean, New
30
Super Mario
million
Bros. Already
games.
had a huge audience. You put it on the Wii, where many who own the console haven't played a Mario game since the NES days, and you have yourself a game that everybody owns at least 4 copies of. To be fair, Pack-In Syndrome somewhat strikes again, but it was only with select bundles. New Mario Wii wasn't a consistent pack-in with the Wii. But what other game is more suited to outdo New Super Mario Bros. Than New Super Mario Bros.? New Super Mario Bros. Was a revolution in the field of just doing the same thing again. It ushered in the
Copy-paste
era
job.
of retro revivals and showed just how much people still love 2D games.
What about
And
the
they loved
Super
it a lot,
Mario
considering
coins?
Much like its
Where
Wii
you collect
successor,
coins.
it sold 30 million, but outdid it just a bit. Similar to the Wii counterpart, New Super Mario Bros. Did so well on the DS due to the install base of the system and the audience for 2D Mario titles. The Nintendo DS, much like the Wii, catered to everybody and had a large following of casual players. Whether they be older or younger, I think they all thought seeing this game on the shelf that they couldn't go wrong with buying a new 2D Mario game. Again, very light Pack-In syndrome applies here. Pokemon Red and Blue are some of the best-selling games of all time. No shit. Yeah, it was to be expected that
Of
Pokemon
course,
was going to be
fucking
on this
Pokemon.
list. I mean, the entire franchise
Pokemon's
has moved over
just-
300 million units.
Jesus.
I think what's surprising, though, is that only one Pokemon title cracked the top 15 bestsellers, and at that, it's the first one, selling 31 million plus copies. Now, I'm not gonna act like
That's
I know
a
much
lot.
about Pokemon, but it's just a little surprising that no other title has gotten a bit closer to Red and Blue success.
From the Huffington
This
Post,
was during
I
the
wouldn't
great
trust those
Pokemon boom
results.
of the late 90s, so large sales figures are to be expected. But even the direct follow-up, Gold and Silver, was about 8 million shy of Red and Blue's lifetime sales. Now, one thing Red and Blue did have going for it was the install base of the console they were released on. The games were released incredibly late in the original Game Boy's life, especially here in the West. 1996 back in Japan, 1998
Yeah, but the Game
here
Boy
in North
lasted
America,
ages.
and
It went on for
1999 in Europe, a full
years.
10 years after the hardware debuted. That's like a company releasing a Wii game now.
Just Dance, no.
Wii Sports Resort was the sequel to
Oh
the game
God,
that only
no.
God knows if it'll be on this list momentarily. Utilizing the Wii Motion Plus
They're
accessory
actually
for
making
more
a Just
accurate
Dance
controls that couldn't
for
be possible with the vanilla Wii
2019.
remote,
Or is it
Resort was an
2020?
upgrade in
I
almost
saw it
every
in
way
like
compared to
an
the original
E3
Wii Sports. It felt more like a game rather
conference.
than a tech demo with tons
Something
of
like
different
that.
modes and locations to play in per sport. Speaking of which, it had a ton more sports, all with a tropical resort theme.
Reminds me of
Swordplay,
Wave Race.
archery, and the
Archery's
best
pretty
thing
cool.
Nintendo's ever done, the Island Flyover. Being the
Yes,
sequel
that's
to one of
from
the most popular games of
Pilot
all
Wings
time, plus
64.
being bundled with the Wii Motion Plus accessory and with Wii's for a while, definitely helped this game cross the 33 million mark. I just wish even more of the population got to experience this. Mario Kart Wii, the one
Mario
I disliked
Kart
and now
Wii.
retrospectively say
I played
that
the
wasn't
shit
too
out
bad.
of this.
It was just at the time it didn't feel like that great of an upgrade from Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube.
Yeah.
The item balancing was jank and it didn't really have a ton of new ideas.
I
Now
enjoyed
I look
it.
at it as a solid enough game, but it was the thing back in the day, and it sold over
It was the only
37
thing.
million copies. In my opinion, the reason Mario Kart Wii attracted so many people
It was
initially
really the
was
only
the
Mario.
Wii wheel. After the casual Wii audience
only
saw
Mario
how much
sold.
not bowling felt like real
Kart
bowling,
game.
hearing how Mario Kart Wii was coming out and it included an accessory that would make not driving feel like real driving, everybody was like, man, we gotta try this out. After the motion controls craze died down though, Mario Kart Wii steadily kept selling well, probably because it was the most accessible home console Mario Kart out there. Also, Pack-in Syndrome.
Yeah,
One of the Wii
I
bundles
bought that
included
one.
Mario Kart,
This is the one I
including the
bought.
Wii Mini.
I bought the
I
the
am
Wii
sorry,
Mini.
Mario Kart Wii.
Wow, I never
Now
knew there
we're
was a Wii
talking.
Mini.
While it may not be at the top anymore, the fact that Super Mario Bros. Is still in the top 10 best-selling games list over 30 years after release says something about its impact on the industry. Of course, Pack-in Syndrome partially applies here, but it had to. Super Mario Bros. Was the definitive pack-in title that showed off just what video games could be, and with 40 million plus of these guys lurking in the wild, I think it's fair to say that it succeeded at being a good pack-in. And then PUBG sold 50 million. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is currently in the top 5 best-selling games of all time. Think about that.
Wow.
That feels pretty weird, but it definitely says something about the game's success. It initiated the popularity of the Battle Royale genre of multiplayer games, with the
Yep.
last man / team standing winning. That genre is totally
PUBG.
in now, and totally won't be old news
I
in 3
played
years,
that
I swear.
game,
Pack-in
like,
Syndrome,
a
as
lot.
there was an Xbox One bundle
And the
sold,
game still
but
sucks.
I really doubt that scratched the
Fucking
surface of its 50 million
lag,
milestone.
fucking
Wii Sports was the reason the
choppy.
general population fell
You
in
could have a
love with the
NASA
Wii.
computer and the
Right
game
when you
still
boot it
runs
up,
like
everybody
crap,
went,
honestly.
I'm the hand. I'm the hand! Well, it does have that classic Pack-in Syndrome as it came
It's like
bundled
a
with the Wii
desync
systems in the
issue
West
with
the vast majority
PUBG.
of its life.
It's always
It
a
was the driving
desync
force that
problem.
got people to actually want a Wii. All the sports included were fun,
Shoot
easy to
people and
understand,
it's
and
like it
impressive
doesn't
at the
register.
time. Selling over 82 million copies makes these things less valuable than coasters, but it's still an impressive feat nonetheless. San Andreas had a good run, but then Grand Theft Auto 5 did this. The game released in 2013 for the Xbox 360
I
and
thought
PlayStation
LA
3,
Noire would
and
be
had
on the
potential
list.
to
I
die
thought
hard
LA
when the
Noire did
PS4
pretty
and
well.
Xbox One release, but Rockstar smartly brought the game to those platforms plus PC. This helped the title maintain relevance, and
What about
alongside the
Halo?
constant updates to
Halo,
the online
the Xbox
component,
original?
plus the mere fact the online component is wickedly popular, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still consistently in the top-selling games of the week list, with 95 million plus copies sold. Honestly,
Damn.
it wouldn't surprise me if it eventually hit
That's
150
a lot
million.
of fucking
Excuse me, sir,
money.
you have 12 days to live. Huh. Excuse me, sir, you have to talk about Minecraft again.
Oh god, no.
Yep, everybody's favorite Minecraft. Regardless of your opinion of the game, you at least have to admire how successful
I like
it's been.
Minecraft,
It gained traction
but
even in its beta
God,
stages,
it's-
and after it finally officially released
wish
in late
something
2011 and was
new
ported to almost every
would happen
conceivable
to
piece
it.
of
I don't
technology
know.
since, Minecraft has
Minecraft
sold
out of
over
space or something.
144 million copies as of January 2018. With around 74 million of them being monthly active players. And that's nothing to sneeze at, and while I still don't know what all this is about, I respect it and everything it's done.
It's a good
But
game,
the overall
but I want
best-selling
more
game of all time is,
from
are
it.
you f***ing serious? Tetris is the most well-known and
Tetris.
iconic puzzle game of all
Course.
time. Name a console, any console. It probably has a version of
Fucking
Tetris on it.
Tetris.
But that's just it. It has a version of Tetris on it. You see, look up any list of the best-selling games of all time online, and you will constantly be face-to-face with the #1 followed by Tetris, claiming that Tetris itself has shipped over 170 million copies. Well, no piss it shipped over 170 million copies because people are considering the entire Tetris franchise as one game,
Yeah.
and thus justifying it being the best-selling game of all
As if
time.
you did that
Here's
with
my problem
Pac-Man
with
or
this statement.
ping-
Yes,
ping pong
there have been
or
multi-platform
golf or
versions of
something like that.
Tetris
It's
that are
just a
considered
bit-
the same game, but on a different platform. Tetris on the NES and Game Boy is the easiest example of this. These are basically the same games on different platforms. But would
Yeah.
you consider Tetris DS, Tetris Splash, Tetris Battle
No.
Gaiden, Puyo Puyo Tetris, or 3D Tetris to be the same game?
No.
They all have different
Virtual Boy
visuals, sound
Tetris.
design, development teams, modes, gameplay tweaks, publishers.
Let's not
I'd
mention
argue
that
that
again.
some of these different versions of Tetris have more
Fucking hell,
differences from
Virtual
each other
Tetris.
than other entries in
Virtual
game
Boy.
series.
No.
My point is, I think it's kind of lame that the entire Tetris franchise is considered just one game in all these best-selling games of all time lists, while
Yeah,
other
this-
series aren't.
that's-
Yeah, Tetris Effect is
that's
fundamentally
cheap.
the same game at its core as Tetris on the Game Boy.
Just stick to
But
one
Wii
game,
Fit
not
and
the
Wii
entire
Fit Plus
franchise.
are considered different games on bestsellers lists. Are all games in the Dr. Mario series considered the same? What about Columns, Puyo Puyo, really any puzzle game? Is Tetris 2 a part of this statistic? I fucking hope not. What about Tetris Attack? It ain't Tetris, but it's Tetris. I wonder what the people behind
Mario
Tetris have to say
Tetris.
about that. Jesus Christ, they've sold over 425 million copies of Tetris on mobile alone.
Fuck
Alright, I wanted
me.
to argue longer there, but that's my cue to wrap things up. So, what did we learn about the best-selling games of all time today? Well, a lot of them are on the Wii, and we didn't even see a Call of Duty title. After
Yeah,
staring
thank
at this
God.
list for 2 minutes, I've deduced that
I
12 of
fucking
these
hate Call
15
of
games
Duty.
have been pack-in titles at some point. 5 of them are Wii games that sold well due to bundles, brand recognition, and fads.
Actually,
And
Call of
Tetris
Duty
being
World
the
at
best-selling
War,
game of all
that's-
time is
that
kinda
was
garbage,
really
but
fun.
they decided to sell over
I love
400
Call of
million
Duty
of the
World at War.
non-free-to-play paid versions on mobile, so I guess I'll shut up. I hope developers actually
But for the
understand that the
rest,
majority of these numbers are
no.
unrealistic, and it's simply not bad
Maybe
for
Call
the
of
title to
Duty
not
Black
hit them.
Ops,
Yes, these are incredibly
Zombies,
impressive
that's pretty
statistics,
fun,
but
but
selling 1 million copies of a game should still be seen
I'm
as
not
a
a Call
success
of
in some
Duty
ways.
guy.
Yeah,
I
that
am
could
not
mean
a
a
Call of
profit
Duty
loss
guy.
for the company, but that's 1 million people who wanted to play your game. And that should mean something. I wonder how the Wii Play developers feel about why people actually bought their game. They've got to feel pretty good because we have 400 copies of Wii Play being nurtured by yours truly. But coming back to the whole I will die thing, who's gonna look over my 400 copies of Wii Play when I'm gone?
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me, 433.
Okay, that's the end of the video. Just enjoying the music. That good old-fashioned music. Okay, so that's the end of the video. The best-selling games of all time. There was some I think he should have hit. Maybe Xbox, the original Halo, wasn't really a great seller, but I thought that was I thought that sold a lot, you know, because it came with a console, I believe, you know, the Xbox original and Halo. You had the Halo controller as well, I believe, and stuff like that, the Halo console. I'm pretty sure he's missed a couple for different consoles, but I'm pretty sure he should have done Halo. I mean, Halo, come on, it's fucking Halo for the Xbox original. It's amazing. I've seen some of these games, I've played some of these games, and some I don't like, some I do. The GTA games, yeah, it's alright. Minecraft, yeah, it's alright. And for the other games, yeah, it's alright. Nothing really that's groundbreaking for me. I've played so many video games that I've come to a point where I'm like, oh yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, very nice game. But yeah, I've got so many games that I just sort of shut down, you know. You just sort of go, yeah, it's a very nice, interesting game, and you get bored of it. You know, apart from Doom. Doom was totally awesome, the new version of Doom, you know. That was totally amazing. And all the classic old Dooms, of course. But the newer Doom was totally fucking amazing. I loved playing the shit out of that. If you like this video, make sure to give a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.